The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good evening, everyone. We've got, let's see, we've only got a few people on so far, so I'm going to wait a little bit for some of the stragglers. But before we get going, let's go to questions and pop that guy. Okay. All right, so I have the question box to the side so I can see questions that come across a little bit easier. One of the things that we spoke about this last Wednesday, we spent some time going over just inputting data, because this is the part that's really getting a lot of us, is this data entry. And the homework, I haven't I've received one completion so far, and it was just of one time frame for the Euro-US. So the one-day chart, I received one completion of that so far. I haven't received anything else. So what I would like to start focusing on is dividing this work, because it's not moving forward the way that I'd like it to, and we're not getting the data we need to start giving better information to everyone. So one of the things that I've been doing, I spent some quite a bit of time over this weekend getting some of this done, and it does take quite a while, and I'll be completely honest with that. But in the process, I've come across quite a few different additional signals that we'll be looking into in the future, as well as the one that we currently are. So this today's thing is not going to be very long. I've already recorded a few different videos today, as you can see right. Let's refresh this page here. I have a how to place a profit stop or a profitable stop, and then a partial closure of a trade. So I have two videos that I've created so far, and they're in the YouTube, and I'm going to send an email out to everyone with these attached. Part of this is to have reference for you guys. It's a little bit quicker, so you don't have to go through an entire, a video that's a lot longer, like one of these 58-minute videos, to get to something like this. So this kind of cuts out the additional information if it's not needed and you want just to know the one idea. So we've got that for you guys. But one of the main things that I wanted to talk about is kind of get your guys' idea about this back testing. Is this something that we even want to do? Is this something that we want to move forward with? Is this something else that we need to be working on? There's a few different things that I've come across. One, Jason Hall has shared something, and I think it's a very interesting bit of information. This little website right here. It's www.livechat.co.uk/currency-strength.php. This right here, and I opened this morning, so let me refresh this now. May have changed a little bit. But what this does is it actually takes which currencies throughout the current day have more strength than others. And one of the things that has been suggested is to pair up some of these ones that have more strength currently in a day with those who have less strength throughout the day, and see if there's any trades available that way. And that's Jason Hall sharing this. And so for me, I placed a trade today against the USD JPY. Right here you can see the US this morning was quite strong, and the JPY is very weak today. And so I placed a trade in favor of the USD with that, with my technicals and my analysis and all my other charts, but had success just by looking at something as simple as this, and being able to realize that, okay, if the US has some strength and the indicators are showing that direction against something like the JPY or against the Swiss franc, then you could make some trades in there that actually could be very beneficial. And I attempted that today. So one of the things that I want to help you guys with is give you guys additional pointers from other coaches, from things that I fumble upon, things that the group also fumbles upon. But this is one of them. And it is, it says right here, the currency strength meter. So it's pretty much measuring the strengths of different currencies across the board to see, to give you a visual of which currencies have strength versus which ones are weaker in that current day or that time. So that's one of the things I wanted to show you today. The other thing was, I'll bring this up. Here is that the USJPY trade that I placed back in here. And I wanted to show you guys, as you notice, I have my yellow line. My yellow line is actually my market price. This is where I entered the market. And one of the things that we focused on before was having an ability to just let the market give you what it's going to give you. And in this instance here, I've taken and I've dragged this up 2 pips, which would cover 89 cents there. It's a very, very small trade. I've actually closed out half the trade already. But the 89 cents would cover the commission on this half the trade and the other half the trade. So the 70 cents there would be covered by this 89 cent 2 pip profit. And so what this does is it gives me, because right here we're at this stop loss is what it's the idea of it. So how I created this was, any time that you have the market move in your favor, you can put the stop loss above your market entry. This allows you to not take a loss at all, and that's what I'm doing right here. What this is it's a place where it lets the market have some breathing room to where if it's going to come back, it'll hit this. I've already taken half of this trade out, so it was a very small trade. It was 0.1 lots. But I've taken half of that trade out, and then I've moved this 2 pips up, which allows this 18 pips or so, because it was 20 pips when I had closed up the other half. It allows this 18 pips worth of breathing room to come down and to, if it's going to continue up. And for me, the benefit that I get of that is I can close this and not even have to worry about it. One of the other things that I can do is I can place notifications. So if I were to right click, let's say right here at this point, let's get this little guy out. So right here at this point, if I were to right click, and I can put, where is it? Sorry, trading and alert. So under trading, and then a little arrow that goes aside kicks out this window, you have alerts. So at 113.269, I can give myself an alert, and you can move it further up if you'd like. But what the alert does is it gives me a signal saying, hey, it's reached this point. If I'm going to do a manual, if I'm going to manually move this so-called stop loss, and I like to use the term a profit stop, because I'm taking profit. I'm not losing anything at this point because I'm above my market entry. So I can create these little alerts, and you'd have to set this up through your phone, but you can create these alerts that allow you to then, instead of monitoring this 24/7, you can walk away from it. If it goes up to that point, it will alert you. You can then go to this and adjust this to the new height that you want to take more of a profit. To still give the market some breathing room to continue up if that's the direction it's going to go, but to capture more of a profit at that point. And so you have the option through MetaTrader 4 to have it alert you. So this is another benefit of this type of trading that I want to start focusing on, which is not being in front of the computer 24/7 or having to monitor and baby my trades. Instead, I'd prefer to have trades that we place that we know are going to go in our direction to begin with. We know that they will move, and we can then start placing these profit stops and not have to worry about it. it can go and run in its direction. We had one example this last week. I was talking to Jimmy Fuqua from the group on Wednesday nights, and he was mentioning he did this, woke up or whatnot, left and came back, and he was up 25 pips. So he allowed the market to give him what it was going to give him. And for him, it's relieved some of the stress. For me, that's part of it as well. Is I don't want to worry about a stop loss, hitting a stop loss down here that is taking a negative hit, where instead I want to focus on finding trades that move in my direction and allow me the ability to then place something like this profit stop and not have to worry about it and just let it go. And if, like I said, I closed out half the position, so I've already taken on this very, very small, 0.1 lot size trade. I've already taken half that trade out, and it was like $10 I took out of it, so I was up 20 pips. I took half of that, so I've made that profit. If it comes back down, it covers both commissions, not just the commission from this half of the original trade, but from both halves, and I'll end up with a few more pennies on top of that. But the main point is I have no worries, and if it runs, which is awesome. So we've got this as one of the many benefits. Here is the currencies updated. I hit the refresh, and it took a while because there's just quite a few systems, and this webinar does take quite a bit of energy out of the computer itself, quite a bit of memory and stuff. I don't even know what this currency is, the DKK. I'm guessing it's European, but I'm not sure. But it's showing that it's very strong, and right now the other currency pairs are a little bit weaker. So this morning the U.S. was as this one is right here, the DKK, and I had that against the Japanese yen. But since then the U.S. has weakened in this visual, and you see others that are strengthened. The nice thing about this is when you're trading at whatever specific time, you can just load this chart and it will give you a comparison across the board of the strengths and weaknesses of these pairs. So we've got that. I just showed you how to place one of these profit stops. And the other thing that I wanted to go over, let me see real quick, was figuring out a better way of doing the homework and how we can do that. I don't know if it's breaking it up into a half-year section to where we give individuals certain assignments. There's only a half year of the actual time frame instead of the 2.5 years for each of these charts, just so we can get some of this underneath our belt. One of the things that I want to emphasize is this class is based upon what you guys need. It's not what I come up with on a weekly basis. It has been kind of that recently, but it's what you need. And if there are certain topics that you guys need additional help with, that is something that I would like for you to share with me. And then I can research that and ask other coaches while I'm in the office what they think about it and what their ideas are, and we can pass that on to you guys. But if I don't have material, I'll continue to create my own. But some of these small little things that I've come across have helped me, and I hope that they will, I'll be able to pass that on to you. But as of right now, I've been trying to focus solely on getting a lot of this data input so that I can start sharing numbers with you of percentages with ranges to give you guys more of a perspective on, hey, this does have validity to it, and doing the homework will benefit not just me but the group. And what I mean by me is you. It won't just benefit you, but it will also benefit the group. So we also have a chat. It's an internal chat that we're going to set up. Tim Coker, Hans, and I have set this up, and what we're going to require as participation for this chat is these homework assignments being completed. This way, any new individuals who enter the program will have the benefit of utilizing this chat as long as they're willing to help us in our efforts of making this this data more accurate and giving us exacts on where we should be taking our parameters. So if I was going to take a trade based upon a certain signal, if I should take 5, 6, 7 pips, whatever it might be, or where my stop loss should be involved with that. And so this is just another way of trading on top of the one that I've just shown you here. But it will help us start taking more accurate and more successful trades, and having more precise information will give us exact in and outs of this trade to be at whatever percentages we desire. So we can restrict the parameters and decrease them and increase the percentage of success, or we can broaden the parameters and decrease the percentage of success. So it's based upon what we'd like out of it. Also understanding that the more we restrict and decrease the breadth of the parameters so that we keep those tight, the less opportunities we will see these parameters present themselves. So we don't want to close it too much on the parameters to where we don't have any information that's useful to us. But we also don't want to make it too loose to where we have multiple failing trades instead of multiple successful trades. So it's a give and take there, and we'll be able to get that. I just had a question come across, or an idea from Russ, and I do like this. The idea that he suggests maybe we to get the homework done, as we can assign, for example, he was saying to have 2 people work on the 120, 4 people work on the 60, 8 people work on the 30, with each person working on a different date range for those time frames. And he's saying just a thought. Russ, I like where you're going with that. That way we can break it up and have even across the board, because 2 people on the 120 would break that up, 4 people on the 60, because the 60 is twice the work as the 120, and so on. And so I do like that idea. I'm going to start playing with that idea, and if anyone else has ideas like this, please present them. And we'll be able to hopefully implement this by Wednesday, to where I can then just do full-on assignments and divvy out those assignments regardless of where we might be at individually. And if you've already done it, then you've already finished. But for those of us that need more precise parameters to make this a little bit faster, and for us to go across the information and gather the information a little bit quicker, this seems to be a fantastic idea. Thank you, Russ. So Jeff also agrees, Russ, that he likes the idea of dividing up the work. So I'm going to take the task on myself to divvy this up. I'm going to assign this mainly to those who are in the Wednesday night meetings, and for part of you who are in this Monday night webinar. So I'm gonna send that out to those individuals, and what I need is a response of either I will or cannot do this, because I don't want information being left behind. I don't want windows of time being separated or lagging. So I will send out the actual individual assignments by this Wednesday, and we'll have a better idea of how to approach this based upon time, because that's the main thing right now that's holding us back. Is there's a lot of time to put into any of these. Personally, I've almost finished the 240 minute, and I've not just placed in the lines where exact signals are, but I've also placed lines in other signals that I'm seeing that have had some fruition that I'll be able to back test on top of it. So this is your education. You don't just have to place lines in areas that you think that fit the parameter exactly, the requirements exactly, but you can also look, and that's part of this, is to look for other signals that do present themselves, that will help us in the future, where we can start looking out and branching out to other signals that also have high success, and be able to focus on those as well. So I'm literally, let's see, I'm in October of last year, so I've got October, November, December up until today of 240 minute, and I put probably 8 hours into this plus. So it is very time consuming, and I understand that, and that's why this suggestion is going to help us. I appreciate that. So one of the other ideas that we had talked about, and then I shared over here, was the partial closure of a trade. So I'm going to show these two real quick, but if you need more in depth, the videos are here, and I'll be sharing those a little bit later. But for a partial closure, you right click on your actual thing, you modify or delete the order. When you are in here, you have a gray thing over your volume. So what we can do is, instead of having to modify in our order, I actually want to create a market execution. So I have this close button available down here. I don't know if it'll let me close anything smaller than this, but let's attempt it, 0.01, and it does. As right here, I can now close out 1/5 of this trade, being that it's positive, so I'll make about $1 or so on this closing. And then you can close that, and if you notice right down here, we're at 0.05. We have a commission of negative 35 cents, profit of $8.44. But when I close this out, I've changed that to 0.04. I now have, instead of 35 cents, I have a commission of 28 cents, and instead of the 8.44 or so, it's now 6.57 that I'm up. So I've closed another portion of this trade successfully. So if you are up and you want part of the profit to be taken from, what in this example I was up 20 pips, let's see, let's go to the account history, let's go right there, I was right here. So the price that I got in, that was my stop loss, the price that I closed out, so it was about I was 19 pips up. And so with that 19 pips, I closed the 0.01 lot size of that 19 pips. And what that does is, if I'm up 19 pips and I want part of the trade to still be there, and this came from Hiram. Hiram gave me this, and he said this is what a lot of traders do, is they allow the market to go in their favor about 20 pips. They close half of the position. So you would right click here, modify or delete, and instead of modify order, it's market execution. And then you can close, we're at 0.4, you can just now do 0.2. I can close, 0.02. I can close half of this position now. And the point of closing half position is to lock my profit in, and then I take the remaining portion and I put a 2-pip stop loss or a profit stop in place, which allows the market the room to breathe, to move around and come back and hit it or not. But I've already taken my profit out. So that was the other video that I created up here on YouTube, was a partial closure of a trade. And again, how to place a profit stop or profitable stop. As soon as the market price, so over here, as soon as that moves above my entry price, as long as I'm in a buy and it goes to the long, the market price goes, or if I'm going to sell and it goes to the short, either way, I take and I right click on my price. I can now modify or delete, and underneath the modifying category, I can then change my stop loss. So instead of taking 2 pips, maybe I want to take 10 pips on this one. So I'll change it from this price down here, 113.027, to 113.027. 127. And now this is going to move this red line you see here up 8 pips to a point where if it kicks that out, I will take a 10 pip profit on this 0.02 size lot trade, which may be like about $2 or less because of the commissions. But those are the 2 videos that I showed. If you want more depth on those, again, I'll be sharing those in the email this evening because these go quickly over each one instead of having to go through the whole video like we're going over right now. Again, I was mentioning this is going to be a shorter webinar this evening. And the main things that I wanted to show you were these 2 things here, and then this currency strength meter that Jason Hall has shown me. And again, it's at, and I'll share this link in the email this evening as well. So thank you, Russ, for the suggestion on this. And again, Jeff agrees with you, Russ, on that. So I'm going to, again, divvy up the homework. I'll have those assignments out by Wednesday. And we'll now start focusing on smaller chunks of this bigger, this daunting task in a sense. We'll take smaller bites of the elephant to kind of get through it. And again, anyone who has questions for me or needs to be added to the email list and hasn't received any emails yet from Heath at daytradesmart.com, please email me at Heath, H-E-A-T-H, right here. Right there, Heath at daytradesmart.com. Please email me right there, and we'll be able to I'll be able to answer any questions you have, add you to the email list if you're not already on that email list. And then this evening I'm going to send out an email with both of these YouTube video links, the link for this this page here, so that you guys can start utilizing some of these additional tools for your benefits. And again, by Wednesday I will send out that homework assignment, the individual homework assignment that I can then track and keep tabs on. So again, thank you, Russ, for that suggestion. And like I said, again, we are going to be cutting, tonight's webinar is going to be a little bit shorter than normal. But I hope you guys learned a little bit of something, or at least have a bit more excitement about doing the homework now that we're going to be cutting it down into more sizable chunks. Thank you everyone for joining, and if there's any last comments, I'll address those here in the next minute or so. But thank you guys, and you guys enjoy your Monday evening.